Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. This is Kelsey here today with Haria Iftihar. She's the Vice President of Marketing at LiveLike. Haria, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kelsey. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So Haria, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a very passionate marketer. I know it sounds super cliche, but the marketing career came to me as a gift. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I right out of college and university, I knew I wanted to get into non-for-profit.
Okay.
And the path that I found in my first job at UNHCR was related to digital marketing. It was a whole new world. So just being able to understand people and market to them and cater to their needs and the science behind it, it just gets me super excited. And that's something people should know about me. And yeah, I'm also known to be a little bit of a mad hatter at my company. And anybody who's known me from my previous companies, I am the mad hatter, typical cliched marketing person.
Oh, I love it. No, I love the passion behind it. So, how were you able to transfer that passion to LiveLike?
So one of the things with LiveLike is that because LiveLike has been this company that has an amazing product market fit, and that's the reason why I am at LiveLike today. I was
Mm-hmm.
previously consulting them and I wasn't a full-time member. And what frustrated me so much was like, you have the perfect product market fit. And for a startup at such an early stage, that's not something that you get. It
Mm-hmm.
should be easy to market it. The use case is out there. So the way that I translated that is that the moment I got into LiveLike, I started getting the founder story. Why did you get into this business? Why this specific product? And then I started getting to interview our existing clients. That
Mm-hmm.
was the best thing. And that was the day when I was like, okay, I'm in the right job, in the right company. Because
Mm-hmm.
of course, founders say that their product is amazing. But when the clients who constantly renew every year, and these are big clients, it's
Mm-hmm.
like NASCAR, we've got Canal Plus, and when they keep telling us that we're doing an amazing job and they absolutely love the product, like, okay, now I can get supercharged with getting this out there because it makes sense.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, tell me, what does LiveLike do?
So LiveLike essentially provides you with fully customizable and modular interactive and engagement solutions, no matter what your platform. So whether you're a streaming service or you're just a website or an app, the goal is to get the engagement going to help entertain, engage, and retain your users and reduce that churn. And I know that this is something that happened over the years, especially with COVID, the
Mm-hmm.
need to really retain your users when that in-person thing wasn't happening anymore. How are you providing them that next level engagement within your platforms? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where LiveLike comes in. That's the problem that we're trying to solve.
Okay. And what does that look like?
So essentially what it looks like is, just to break it down, having polls, quizzes, chat, rewards, loyalty within your platform. One
Mm-hmm.
of our most famous features, because we were in the sports and media industry, was always live chat. Just
Mm-hmm.
getting that watch party feeling going, having quick polls come in. Who do you think is going to score the next goal? And then just getting into that next mode. What happens after the event? How do
Mm-hmm.
you continue to engage, or how do you build that hype up through engagement to get people for that event? And
Mm-hmm.
that's where our new features come in, which are just interactive, informative. My favorite one is definitely something very simple. It's an emoji slider. Whether you're reading a news article or you're just looking at a public argument between two influencers or just a chat, you can just slide whether you like it or not.
I love
Our
that.
main purpose is to, you know how brands lose their engagement in the sense that it goes to third party platforms like Instagram, Twitch, Facebook? Our
Mm-hmm.
goal is to make sure that your users aren't going to that platform. The
Mm-hmm.
same engagement comes within your platform. So you also get like an insight into that first party data. They're your users use that data to better your platform, have access to them directly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's essentially, if I want to say like the mantra of this is a consumer first approach.
Mm-hmm.
What gets the consumer happy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And who are those consumers?
So again, in the sports world, it would be sports fans. So those are the end users. But for LiveLike, our consumers would be the sports clubs, the
Mm-hmm.
federations, sometimes broadcasting networks. One
Mm-hmm.
of our favorite clients was Fox News. So the presidential debate between, I believe this was Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was that one, or it was Biden. So this
Yeah.
presidential debate, we did all the interaction behind it. So like
Wow.
people chatting on it, people getting things done. So those kind of things really drive communities. And
Yeah.
every brand wants like a dedicated community around it. And this can like the application of this is so far beyond just sports and media, which
Yeah.
brings us to our next step that we're getting into these other verticals such as e-commerce and fintech. And I'll
Wow.
be very honest about it. It's not like we thought we were perfect for these verticals. These verticals actually came to us. It was like they started having conversations with us, some
Yeah.
friends of founders, people within network that, hey, this makes sense for our e-commerce platform. This makes sense for our fintech platform. And fintech is like, it was a whole new world for us. We didn't even
Yeah.
know. But the need is there, and our product is evolving to really cater to those needs. The core product is still the same, the mantra is still the same, but maybe the features that these industries would need are slightly different. Because
Mm-hmm.
even with e-commerce, shoppable commerce is a big thing, and that's something that we are actively trying to develop in terms of product.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like really pushing engagement, and that engagement tool is one of the most important thing about LiveLike, but it also sounds like there are, the challenge behind that LiveLike solves is that engagement piece.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, that's great. So how has LiveLike been able to, it sounds like, through, word of mouth and different engagement, LiveLike has been able to grow. Talk to me a little bit more about, how the company has been able to scale and grow.
So initially, and this company started, like this version of the company started around 2019, 2020. So right at that point where COVID was about to hit, but none of us knew. And it did initially start with like the robust network that the founders had, the
Mhm.
advisor network. It was word of mouth. There wasn't really paid advertisement, attending events, getting networking. Everything started very conventionally.
Mhm.
We only started doing growth marketing when I joined last year, when we really realized that there's a version of our product which can be advertised via lead gen. And we
Mhm.
did get really good leads. One of our top clients from this year, top new clients, which is the Christian Broadcasting Network, actually came to us through a lead. And that's where growth marketing comes in because your product is so evolved that if without a human touch, that lead can come in and then you can follow that whole journey of turning it into an SQL. And
Mhm.
that was my frustration with Live like before I joined because I saw it. I was like, your product needs to be out there. You don't even need like a massive budget. It's
Right.
B2B SaaS. Our budget is definitely nowhere close to D2C, but that's
Mhm.
also not a requirement for us at this stage.
Mhm.
Our goal is definitely to have quality over quantity. So we get very narrow, very targeted. We do a lot of seasonal research.
Mhm.
Quick example, like we would do trend research like what are companies, what are CMOs, CPOs, CTOs, developers, what solutions are they searching for within this season? And
Mhm.
sometimes it would be loyalty and rewards. And like this season, it's live chats. Everybody wants to have that kind of interactivity because it's a big sports time.
Yeah.
So it's happening in sports, but now it's converting into other areas where people want their consumers to be able to chat about what's happening, have those mini communities within their platforms.
Mhm.
Even if you're a fintech company, you
Mhm.
want to have that community where people can talk about what is the best savings program that this brand offers. How
Mhm.
do you benefit from certain programs? What is the best way to utilize your personal advisor?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's where we are right now. We're super excited. We're still building it. It's
Mhm.
1 year into growth marketing is still relatively young, and there was a lot of A/B testing, experimentation. I think it's only like last quarter when we got the right sauce, and now we're just ready to scale it.
Okay. Okay. And it's easy to scale a business when you know the product is right, right? And I hear that passion behind your voice saying, you understand the engagement and what the product can do at LiveLike. So, what effect did COVID had on the company? Because you talked a little bit about like 2019 and 2020. So during that time, what did LiveLike look like?
So I've only heard stories. And what I do know is that COVID actually was an accelerator because
Hmm.
all of a sudden, even concerts. So COVID is when media even came to us. So there were a couple of concerts, smaller ones that happened, and we had them as clients
Hmm.
because I'm sure you might remember this, where singers were doing like live parties on Instagram because
Yeah.
there was nothing in person. Big loss to the sports and all the entertainment media industry because people couldn't be there in person. So,
Hmm.
how do you continue to evolve and drive that engagement when nothing can happen in person? And that's when our use case actually became stronger.
Hmm.
And right when COVID started fading, the assumption was that this will continue to build because now you know that there are two streams of revenue. Why would you restrict yourself to physical seats when you
Hmm.
can sell something cheaper for like an online viewing experience?
Right.
So when that two revenue streams opened, that demand actually grew.
Okay.
And of course, like with COVID, we've seen that even for example, for quick commerce, a lot of things were fads and they started fading away. But for
Hmm.
us, it really helped us nail our product market fit and make that use case stronger.
Hmm. So what separates you from your competition? Because I
So
know
this is,
there's a lot of things that came about during COVID. So what makes LiveLike stand out?
I think, and I say this because I have been talking to our clients, I understand what their pain points are.
Hmm.
And the way that they pitched it to me, like I bluntly asked them, I was like, listen, I'm new in this company, only been here a month. You can tell me if you really don't like something about us. What can we change? And what they said to us, and this resonated with me so well, it's the customer support and our ability to be flexible. It's a all-in-one solution. It's everything under one surface. So if you whether you want just one aspect of engagement, which
Hmm.
might just be let's just get live polls going or just like a emoji slider going, or whether you want us to do a whole 360 system where we have engagement pieces and then we're linking certain actions to rewards, then
Hmm.
how do we utilize those rewards? We will do it all.
Hmm.
And and this is one of the things, and I think there's a Sebastian from Canal Plus is that the kind of flexibility and the customer service that they get from LiveLike never makes it feel like we are like an outside agent. It's always like, oh, this is our team. They get our pain point. And that is because the team is really full of passionate people. If you think I am being passionate about a product, you have to hear our solution architects talk about the product, even like our product team. Like it's infectious. And I
Yeah.
think that is our USP because yes, the product is a great fit, but how you take it forward goes beyond just the product. It's
Mm.
how you are providing that service. It's how you're building that human connection and that retention with your clients. I think we're doing great with that. I know this sounds like a lot where I'm just like, we're amazing, we're doing well, but it's for me, I work very closely with our CFO.
Mhm.
And this is something that a mentality that came through like my career evolution that if I'm in marketing and I'm leading marketing, the
Mhm.
CFO technically needs to be my best friend in all
Okay.
ways possible because I'm going to him for budgets. Also, at the same time, I need to be able to justify the budget that I asked for. So I need to get where he's coming from, what our restriction is, and the amount of renewals we get, and then how those renewals get bigger. That's just proof that they want to continue working with us. They want to get bigger with us. And the way that we open ourselves up for feedback, if there's something that we didn't do well, tell us. So NPS, getting in front of the consumer, being fully transparent, I think that is 100% our USP. I
Mhm.
would say this for the sake of our product team. It's also the product. We're very easily integratable. We can do SDK, API, everything. But
Yeah.
for me, it's that softer side that really sets us apart.
Okay. So you talked a little bit about, starting with polls, kind of moving up to rewards. Is there packages? Kind of how do you separate that and generate revenue?
So the way that we offer this is we have packages, like beginner packages, where you can have like 2 to 3 solutions within that package,
Mhm.
going up to a full customizable package where we will build more solutions for you and fully customize them based on your UI UX. And I know for a lot of brands, that's one of the key focuses that they want, where they want their solution to be fully customized. So if and I'll just give you this example. It's one of my favorite ones in terms of e commerce. If you're watching a live fashion show, and there are questionnaires popping up, or like just a poll quiz that would you rather buy these booths or these booths? You want that to be very seamless and
Mhm.
not disturbing that live show experience. Because at the end of the day, it's the main focus, the main hero of this event is your live show. So
Mhm.
that integration and that ability to make this thing fully customizable, that is available at every single section. So we can start really small, where you can pick like one feature and just test it out and
Mhm.
then grow with you when you want to grow.
Okay. Okay. So you are the vice president of marketing. So how do what social media channels do you use to educate? Because you talked about a lot of word of mouth. But what are your main social media channels, would you say?
So because we're B2B and we're a SaaS company, one of the biggest things I wanted to do was really drive that organic content.
Mhm.
And this is, again, one of my favorite metrics. When I started, our LinkedIn following was at 1,000. We're
Okay.
now at 6,500 and growing. And there
Wow.
was no paid, nothing paid. And we're a very small team when we started. No paid efforts, just us putting out content. Why does online engagement matter? How does engagement look like in terms of different verticals that you're from?
Yeah.
Why does something that is easily integratable should matter to you if you're a product manager? So
Mhm.
understanding those pain points, doing research, putting those things out there, that really helped us.
Mhm.
Another initiative that we started, because we have that network and we have a really good database, is just doing regular product updates, shooting those newsletters, making
Mhm.
sure that people are aware of what are the new updates, new trends that are coming, and how we are adapting to it. One of the new trends that obviously has sprouted a lot in the past 2 years is Web3. And LiveLike is at the forefront of that. We've just initiated our partnership with socios. We've also done Polygon previously to bring that proof of utility within NFTs, because we're linking that back to engagement. So if
Mhm.
you're engaging with content and you want to reward your users with NFTs, and it has to go beyond just like, I own an NFT, what's that? What does that even mean?
Mhm.
That's something we're actively working on with partners. So there's that constant evolution that's happening at LiveLike to make sure that what demand is being generated, we are meeting it, but also trying to predict what's going to be the next big thing, because people are changing the way that they want to engage with brands almost like on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit more about examples of those services, because I want to make sure I really understand what LiveLike can offer. So talk me through that.
So with those services, I think one of the best way I can describe it is by just taking examples. Let's say you are a sports streaming service, right? And you want to drive that kind of engagement. But at the same time, we all know that within sports streaming, there's also sponsorship.
Mhm.
So you go to your sponsors and you're like, hey, we have 70,000 users on our app and who would be viewing this experience within our platform. Great
Mhm.
time for you to do your brand awareness. We have our polls and quizzes that come up every 10 minutes into the game. Would you like to sponsor that? And
Okay.
that's where that service also gets built in, where we are helping them pitch their widgets that we are building in the backend to sponsors to increase their revenue. So
Okay.
there's like this side is exciting for me because from a brand and marketing perspective, then you're like branching out from just giving engagement to your users, but also giving like an ads based avenue for your potential sponsors and making your platform more attractive for bigger sponsors. At the end
Absolutely.
of the day, you increase retention, you also increase revenue. So that's one of my favorite examples.
Mhm.
Another example would also be, and this is again going back to just linking things with rewards and loyalty. One of the biggest queries that we get is that, hey, we want to have image quizzes and polls within our platform, but how do we reward that behavior? Like if
Mhm.
I'm taking out the time to give you feedback and if I'm taking out the time to engage, why am I doing it? So kind of like building in the point system and linking
Mhm.
our whole rewards with an existing point system that can be redeemable, that's also part of the service.
Mhm.
Um, what I would like to summarize this as is that LiveLike is here to really, really help you tell us what you need, and then we will customize our service according to you. It's
Mhm.
not just like, hey, here are live chats for you, here's polls and quizzes, good luck,
Mhm.
bye. our goal is that we constantly work with you to
Mhm.
help you get a return on that investment. If you're investing in all of these tools and you're investing in all of these widgets for your users or to get more sponsors, we work with you as your strategic partners and your consultants to really get the maximum output.
Mhm.
And that's one part of the service that isn't really advertised. We don't advertise it like an add on, but that's
Mhm.
100% something that we do. And it's
Yeah.
probably also linking back to the reason why the clients love us.
Yeah. And it sounds like you are an extension of the team of who you're working with, like truly a
Yes.
customer-centric extension.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't have it any other way. My background comes from an agency, and I've been fortunate enough to work with agencies where we've always been an extension. It's
Mm-hmm.
that's how you win clients.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a secret sauce, which is just your account management and client servicing that goes beyond how amazing your product is.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And I think that LiveLike is lucky to have someone like you in the position that you are with the experience and able to grow their marketing to push that engagement. I think this has been a great conversation. Haria, I really appreciate you being on Business Ninjas. I do have one more question before you go. So, what would be one thing, both personally and professionally, you hope to be celebrating in this next year?
Professionally, I would obviously want to celebrate more growth. I'm working on being more revenue ops focused. So trying to get more courses in, getting things done, really get that ROI to be something amazing. I'm big on numbers.
Yep.
Personally, I would love to have that win reflect in my personal life where
Yeah.
there's a better balance going forward and I'm more happier. I tend to not have a good work life balance. No blame to my company or anything. That's just me. Like I said, I have a mad hatter approach. People usually have to come to me and tell me, like, hey, it's 1 a.m. Can you stop Slack? Like, stop messaging us on Slack, please. Don't write an email. But yeah, I would want to get like more disciplined because it's embarrassing when I go to my team and I tell them to log off. They're like, no, you were online. It's
You
like,
you started it.
yeah. So I'm gonna try to be better with that and really personally take out some time to
Mhm.
strive that to get that balance.
Yeah, I hear that. But, in the meantime, it sounds like that's, obviously balance and self-care so important, but it also shows the passion that you have, for the commitment to your team and the commitment to the businesses that you serve as well.
Yeah, I hope to see it that way and not like she's mad.
Well, I see it that way. Well, um,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. Well, again, great conversation about engagement and all the different tools that LiveLike can do. I think this has been fantastic. Haria Iftihar, she is the Vice President of Marketing at LiveLike. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. Thanks for having me.